All right, you guys, welcome to this episode of Journey to Pointe Live. I am here with you on both Instagram and on YouTube. Let me know your questions that you've got for me in the comments. We have a couple of questions that I will address that you guys have already asked me, but let me know what else you have on your mind. As you can tell, I am back in the studio. We're teaching today in the studio, so I have a little different setup today, which is a lot of fun. So I will be chatting with you guys today all about pointe shoes. This Journey to Pointe Live series we do every Saturday or most Saturdays, and our goal is to really help you guys understand all about pointe shoes. Ask your questions if you're already on pointe. Ask us what you want to know about getting onto pointe if you're not on pointe yet, and really just help you guys understand pointe shoes. They're so exciting. There's so much fun stuff about them, and we love talking about them. So let's get started. I've got a couple questions about getting on pointe, and I've got a couple questions about already being on pointe. Let me know if you have anything to add. We'll be here for about 15 minutes, so let me know what other questions you've got. So first question, just pulling it up here. First question is, how do you know if you're ready for pointe? So I will tell you what we do here at Broche Ballet in the studio. This is different depending on what studio you're at. Different depending on many factors about your ankles, your past history, injuries, all kinds of stuff. So it's always best to see if you can work with someone in your local area, but I will tell you guys what we do here at Broche Ballet. So the number one predictor for us here is consistency and attendance. Even if it's once a week, we're still seeing people ready for pointe, but it's got to be every week or like a couple of, at least 4 times a month, right? So we want to think about consistency. That's how we build muscle memory. That's how we really build this strength up. So consistency and attendance is like the number one thing that we're looking for in terms of having been coming to class and working on strength every single week. We wait for 1 year for our new dancers before we invite them in for a little pointe assessment. We call it a soiree. It's very fun. Actually, everyone's always super nervous. So fun isn't necessarily the word for it. It's kind of an exciting, anxious time. So we wait for 1 year. We ask the dancers to have consistent attendance. If they have had a lot of life stuff come up over the course of that year, we do ask them to kind of front load their training there before they come in for their pointe test and do a bunch of what we call makeup classes ahead of their pointe test so they can get really strong. So again, we wait for a year of consistent attendance, and then we do our pointe test. So our pointe test consists of lots and lots and lots of releves on one leg, on 2 legs, in parallel, turned out. Then we also check for turnout strength. So we say, like, if you're in a demi-plie, we will kind of like pull on their leg, see if they can resist us with their turnout. So if we're pulling on their leg and they can't resist us, and when we can move their leg, then we need to work a little bit more on turnout strength. We're looking for alignment of the ankles when you're in the releve. So that would be that your ankle is lined up over your second toe, not stickling over the pinky toe, and not falling too far over the big toe. So really getting that perfect alignment every time coming from plie and coming from straight leg releve. That's something we're really, really, really checking for. Then we watch the dancers do exercises with a TheraBand. We watch them do point and flex. We watch them do a sickle and a wing. And we see how their ankle strength goes. So we're looking for a couple things here. We're looking for no jitters in the movement. We're looking for nice, clean movements, control, right? Control is all of what we're looking for in ballet. So we're looking for control. We're looking for a nice, straight point, no sickles as we're doing the point and flex. And then as we're doing all of the TheraBand work, we're looking for straight, long toes. We don't want the toes to be crunching or curling in. We don't want them to be like curling onto the TheraBand. We want it to be nice and long and pressing long. We look for a couple more things. We do like a little strength test where we will place our hands under the dancer's toes. So they're sitting on the floor. We put our hand under the toes and ask them to press into our hands. Obviously, this whole test is going to be a little different in COVID world, but this is like obviously what we did when we were allowed to get close to people. So we would have them point into our hands so we can feel how much force they can generate with their toes. So this is important because that's how you get up on pointe. You push through your toes to get yourself up onto your box at the end. And then that really helps them evaluate the strength of the toes as they're going to be able to push up. Last thing we check for is releve passe and center. We do several releve passe traveling backwards from plie passe, alternating legs to check core strength, stability, being able to press up from plie into releve, all of that stuff. Now, the 1 year ballet should give the dancer a good fundamental understanding understanding of ballet, the steps, the vocabulary, how to turn out, all that stuff. And then these extra little bits just check on ankle strength and all of that. Oh, I forgot one more super important point of the test, which is checking the range of the front of the ankle. So we will ask an answer to point your toe and see about the front of your ankle. So the front of the ankle flexibility is what helps us get all the way over our shoes, and we want to see if there's a nice straight line there. If we're really, really close, we might recommend that they go see like physical therapists or chiropractors or an acupuncturist to work out the front of those ankles and help them get that last little mile with the front of the ankle. But that's kind of a big thing we check. So that's how we assess people getting up on point. In our Journey to Point video course that we have launched at brocheonline.com, we have also a little point consultation video that you can do where it walks you through what ankles we need to see, what we need to see about your feet, so we can help you look at your feet, what you need to work on, where you're at, and so it can kind of help you get a sense of where you are on your Journey to Point. That's our Journey to Point video course with all the practice content of what to work on, how to get strong enough, all of that, and then that's that point assessment that helps you kind of see where you are on your journey. All right, so that's all about getting up onto point and how to know when you're ready. It's, as I mentioned, it depends on so many factors, but that's basically what we look for here, and kind of the timing and what we do here. One question about toenails. So toenails and pain are both two questions that we got here. So I'll address both of those, and then I see a comment here on Instagram that I'll get to in just a sec. So bruised toenails. This was a question about dealing with bruised toenails. So if you're getting bruised toenails a lot, I think you might want to consider two things. Number one, you might want to consider changing your toenail clippers. I know this seems bizarre, but you might consider getting convex toenail clippers. These are toenail clippers that kind of like poke out instead of concave, which cave in. And as you can get a closer cut in the middle of your toenail so that the center of your big toe isn't as curved and it's more flat. And this can kind of help the toenails not kind of jam into the top of the shoes. Second big tip though is you might want different padding. Like they have the big toe pad, they have the big toe, like it's almost like an pouch for your big toe with silicone in it. There's also spacers and padding you can put in your toes, and then there's also this super fancy new Pointe. It's like, oh, I can't remember the name of it. We'll think of the name and put it in for you guys afterwards. But it's like a gel that you put in your Pointe shoes, and it molds to your toes and supports you. It fills in all the negative space between your toes and your shoes, and it makes this like toe pad super, super custom to you, and that enables you to kind of support your foot in a different way. So experiment with toe padding, experiment with clipping your nails short, but you want to avoid bruising your toenails and having them fall off. That's so painful. So I would say either go to a fitter and have them help you experiment with toe pads, or do experimentation on your own if you're open to that kind of thing, and then also cut your toenails. Basically, these same tips are for the question of do you just get used to the pain. So someone on Instagram asked, do you just get used to the pain over time? Sometimes you do get used to the pain, but if you put your shoes on for the first time and you're at the fitter and you want to cry, these are not the right shoes. This is not the right padding. This is not the right setup for you. There's something that can change about your shoes to make them less painful. So like they're not going to be like bedroom slippers, okay? Like I don't want to make you think they're going to be like bedroom slippers, but they should be like wearable. Like you shouldn't want to cry. You shouldn't want to take them off. You shouldn't want to die. They should be wearable. Yeah, like if you have a pair of shoes that's like flats, right? Flats are like just regular flats for outside, not ballet flats, but like regular flats. There's regular flats that make you want to die. They hurt so bad and you don't want to put them on. And then there's some where it's like, man, I mean, it's like not a flip flop, but at least it's not so bad as the other ones, right? So that kind of shoe, that's the kind of like comparison where your Pointe shoe shouldn't hurt that bad, where you want to cry. It should really be wearable. You have to get through your class. So either go back to a fitter. They have virtual online fittings right now, especially at the Pointe shop. They're doing virtual online fittings, and several other big brands are doing virtual online fittings. You like work with someone to get the shoes to be comfortable for you, right? That's where you want to do. You want to be like, can I wear this for an hour, and will I be fine, right? Because my last tip on this, and I promise we'll get on to the next question. My last tip is like, if your shoe hurts so bad you want to cry, you're going to sacrifice your technique because you're going to be afraid to step on your big toe. You're going to be afraid to put your weight in the correct spot on your shoe, and you're going to develop habits that are from the fear of it hurting. So So it's really important that you have shoes that you can wear. Like, look at this. Again, I'm holding two devices, so I don't have any hands free. If I had air quotes, I would say they should be comfortable, right? They should be wearable is really the word for it. So go get them fitted, cut your toenails, do what you can, and experiment with your shoes, because they really shouldn't hurt that bad. Okay, question on Instagram from Angie. Hi, Angie. Always great to see you. I see you in class all the time. Awesome. Why is it different to make point in the bar to the center? So when we are doing point in the center without the bar, it's a lot more difficult, right? Even just like standing on flat is a lot more difficult in our point shoes because we're like standing in a box, right? And Angie, feel free to chime in if you have a slightly different question when I'm answering. So it's so much harder to do point in the center than with the bar because as we're using the bar, a lot of times our weight is forward over the bar to try to help support us to get us up. But when we're in the center, we can't have our weight that far forward. We have to be upright. And so as we're at the bar, if we're really relying on the bar in front of us to push us up, that's going to be hard when we get off the bar. We need to use our own leg strength and we need to use our own toe strength and all of that stuff. So that is a really, really big difference is your alignment at the bar versus your alignment in the center. So some suggestions on this. Obviously, it's most ideal if you're at the bar and you can just control your urge to lean forward and keep yourself upright. Obviously, that's easier said than done, right? Because we're like, we can't get up, we use the bar, etc. So, like, if you're at home and you're experimenting, or you're in a studio and you're experimenting, you can try taking two bars next to you in parallel, like parallel bars at gymnastics, right? If you guys have seen gymnastics, they do the parallel bars even. A lot of men do it, and it's super cool, right? But if you have parallel bars and you can experiment with pushing yourself up with parallels, then you're more upright as you're working versus leaning over something where you're going to be developing that alignment over something and not just using the strength of your legs. We can work one hand on the bar, and we do in more advanced levels work one hand on the bar with our point work to help with this. But the issue is if you need the support of both of your hands, which generally we do for the first year or so, if you need the support of both of your hands, you're not going to want to do one hand on the bar. You're going to want to use both your hands. So you might try like setting up almost like a galley kitchen, like maybe a counter on one side and a chair on the other, or a bar. Or if you're in the studio and you're lucky enough to have two bars next to you, then that can be a really helpful way to work towards getting up in center. Last tip on getting up in center is that you want to think about as you get up on your toes that you need to work extra hard to push all the way up. But while this is happening, like I said, the alignment is huge. So what we tend to do, I'm talking slow, so I'm trying to think about how to verbalize it instead of show you guys. When we think about going up on our point shoes, we'll tend to like heave ourselves up there. We'll stick our butt out, we'll lean our shoulders forward, and then we'll heave ourselves up there. But when you're on point, that's a no-go. You're going to fall off your shoes. You can't be heaving yourself with your upper body. It has to come from the strength of your toes pushing off, and it has to come with beautiful alignment as you're sliding down a wall or up a wall, because the back and forth motion is really going to knock you off your shoes and make it really hard to stay all the way up there. That's too jarring for being up on your shoes, for getting up on your shoes. So that's my last tip on getting in center. I know we had one more question coming through on Instagram. Chanel, if you're watching right now, if you would put that in the chat box, and I'll just kind of ramble for a sec while I wait to see if Chanel is watching. You can send that to me in the chat box here. We got one comment here on Instagram. Love the idea of parallel bars. Never heard of that. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if that's a real thing that other people do, but I always like to experiment. I love working with adults on point because it's so different than kids, because we all have so much fear and anxiety, and it feels so strange and so foreign to the body. And so I always like to try to help adults find ways to get over that fear, right? And so getting over that fear is a huge part of the transition from bar to center. And so I want to help people figure out how to get rid of that, right? So if it's like holding on to something above, hey, Chanel, there you are. Do you have the last question? I answered 3 of the questions that came in. Do you have the 4th question that you can send me? That would be awesome. I answered how do you know when you're ready? I answered bruised toenails, and we talked about how much the point shoes hurt. There was a 4th question though, but I can't remember what it was. Anyways, I call it the point panic. The point panic is like when you're just super scared and nothing works because you lose all your technique. Thank you. You lose all your technique because you're super scared and you can't remember to hold your stomach and you can't remember to turn out your legs and all of that. So I like to try to help people combat that with various tools. So parallel bars, I mean, even if you're like in a pole dancing studio and you can hold on to a pole or straps overhead or something to help keep you upright, that can help a lot. Awesome, amazing, thank you, Shanoa. Awesome. I'm holding 2 devices here, just trying to stream to you guys on YouTube and Instagram, so I didn't have my computer for those questions. Do we offer point classes and pre-point classes? Yes, we do offer those in our online program, brocheonline.com. So for pre-point classes, because again, we recommend consistency, we do offer just a couple of times a week pre-point classes, but we also have our Journey to Point video course that will take you through basically a day-by-day practice plan, which is kind of helps you with little 10-minute follow-along videos of what you should be practicing every single day to work on your turnout and your core and all of that stuff, as well as your feet, your alignment, the ankles, all the stuff that I talked about in the very beginning about what we look for people being ready. So Journey to Point video course helps take you through what exactly to practice every day if you can't make it to the online live classes. Once you do get on Pointe, we do have Pointe classes as well. We have Pointe a few times a week. We know you're all at home. We teach from home too, so the exercises are meant for your home space. We keep the traveling stuff to a minimum. We keep your own wood flooring and all of that stuff. So we try to keep it very strength and alignment based, so that you can really work on that stuff at home in a really safe way. Because it's like really at home, we want to work slowly and carefully and cautiously, and we have the dancers put the camera right by their feet so we can see what they're doing and make sure they're doing it right. So that's kind of our online program. Let's see, question from Instagram. What other classes like ballet and contemporary? So our program is all ballet, but we have classes every single day. In ballet, we have stretch, we have conditioning, we have morning classes, we have midday, and we have evening classes. The full schedule at brocheonline.com. We have live Zoom classes, and then we also have like on-demand recorded classes, little practice sessions you can do on your own. We call it our technique library. So you can do either live or that as well. We do offer online and private lessons too. If you have class that you're taking elsewhere and you just want to get some tips on something, we also do the online private lessons as well to kind of help you in an individual setting when you need extra help. All right, guys, we'll just wrap up here. So again, today we talked about all kinds of stuff. We are not going to have this next weekend, but we will have it the following weekend. Let me know what questions you have we'll post a little comment on YouTube, on Instagram. So let us know what questions you have for 2 weeks from now. Let us know, and we would love to answer them here on Journey to Point Live. Anything else on your mind, let us know. We'd love to help you out. We love Pointe, we love adult dancers, and we love adults on Pointe. So all that stuff is super exciting. All right, guys, have an awesome rest of your day. It was awesome to see you. Take care.